I get turned on by really different kinds of men.
Being a Virgo, very sort of deep person.
I'm obsessed with like my thoughts and my body shape and like how I appear to other people.
I think I'm quite a bubbly person.
I'm pretty erratic.
Extremely homosexual.
I guess I'm kind of always, like on a diet a bit.
Quite messy. I've got messy handwriting.
Fairly quiet.
Who's to say what's wrong in a personality, and who defines what is supposed to be good and supposed to be bad?
Who considers it to be a disorder, for one? Because the person who has the disorder may not consider it to be a disorder at all.
Your personality disorder is your personality in the end.
My personality, it's a disorder.
Oh yeah, I've got one of those.
I think I probably have personality disorders.
Everyone's personality is different, so there can't really be a disorder in that. Maybe.
I would actually go so far as to say it's almost the postmodern crisis, is that as people, we've got so fragmented. It is like a Humpty Dumpty thing. It's so analysed, the different facets of what it is to be human. As a community, as a culture, having lost sight of the wholeness of our being, we've now got this fragmented world that doesn't know what it is.
Personality disorder.
Acting outside of what the general public believes to be personality would be a personality disorder.
I don't necessarily know if there are any personality disorders.
A personality disorder exists only in the imagination of psychiatrists.
Even as scientists, when we use the label, we're questioning it. There's a huge debate about whether it's appropriate to talk about personality as disordered. When you're talking about the uniqueness of a person.
The attributes are symptoms, because they're talking medical jargon. And these are symptoms which are supposedly indicators of some underlying illness.
Is there a difference between a personality and a personality disorder?
Yep.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
What did I just say?
No.
Yes.
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 No.
No.
Yes or no?
It'd definitely be maybe.
What was the question again?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the difference between a personality and a personality disorder is one of them is real.
That it's basically a psychiatric or psychological construct.
There are whole conferences about personality disorder, and people who are dedicating their lives are making quite a commitment to trying to understand personality and personality problems.
And these constructs are very fragile because they depend on the power of the psychiatric or the psychological establishment.
I wouldn't talk to somebody that I was working with about a personality disorder. I would talk to them about the person they are and the kinds of problems that they're having.
My God, what's a borderline personality? I mean, a personality either is or it isn't.
Right, DSM is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, which originated in the 1950s.
It's prepared and published by the American Psychiatric Association. It is the official classification of psychiatric disorders.
These systems start off with a group of people, usually men, sitting around and agreeing on what constituted certain categories and what were the criteria.
We're up to DSM version 4 is the current version. I'm not sure how many there were 40, 50 years ago, but it would have been less than 100, maybe 50 or 60. Now in DSM 4 there's, I think, between 200 and 300. And I've heard they're currently working on DSM 5, where some people are talking it might be thousands.
One has to look at what is considered as normal and abnormal.
There's this very narrow notion of what is normal.
Why do we have such categories as normal and abnormal, and what do they mean?
And if you deviate very far from this very narrow definition of normal, then people are going to jump in and say you need to be treated, and the treatment is drugs. The DSM is a catalogue of abnormality, but they don't anywhere define normality. If you look at each one of them, they're common every day, perfectly natural, perfectly normal, and I would say quite healthy human qualities.
Snappy.
Happy.
Amish.
Wondering.
Thoughtful.
Tired.
Anxious.
Funny.
Fruity.
Sexy.
Polemic.
Soft.
Fun.
Flamboyant.
Indecisive.
Insecure.
Random.
Quiet.
Placid. Patient. Jealous.
Awkward. Obsessive. Analytical.
Egotistical.
But psychiatrists play these games where they cluster them together and they say you must have 2 of these and another 4 for at least 3 weeks or something like that. And if you tick all those boxes, you get the label. My very favourite psychiatric disorder in around the 1850s called drapetomania. And drapetomania was the disorder of slaves who wanted to flee captivity because the slave owners believed that it was good for the slaves to be slaves. Recommended treatment for drapetomania was whipping, and also, of course, for people who are running away, because that's the major symptom of drapetomania, is you chop off their toes. Every now and again, a label disappears. The main one, or the outstanding one, of course, being homosexuality. It was taken out of the DSM, not because of any new science that revealed that actually homosexuality is part of the normal variation of what it is to be human. These so-called scientists in the DSM committee, they decided to take homosexuality out of the DSM by a vote. As far as the future of these personality disorders goes, it's really scary.
We are in a waiting room. The disorders keep mutating.
And there's more and more categories, diagnostic categories, and then subcategories and subcategories. Whether they invent more disorders or whether they just use the ones they've got more and more, I don't know. I don't think that matters very much. In fact, the more I look at psychiatry, the more I see it shatters what it is to be human.
It is about thinking about a whole person. So it's about hanging on to that sort of image of the happy Humpty as he was kind of climbing up the ladder and skipping along the wall, that it's a whole person. And that's why I like the term personality, because it is about that. It is about what draws the person together as a whole.
What's a personality?
Oh, personality? My God. How do I answer that?
The zest that makes you different from other people and, I don't know, colours yourself. Yeah.
Personality is who you are. How long an answer do you want?
Happy?
No,
Happy?
no.
Happy?
Yes. Amish? Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
What that usually means, so at a ridiculously young age, and then put on medication. And people talk about People talk about heroin, ecstasy, speed, problem drugs in society, problem drugs in society, and psychodrugs. Younger and younger children being tested at the moment, antipsychotic drugs.